Hello students, today we are going to learn the second chapter, that is the spreadsheet functions. Children, this chapter contains the charts also, but we'll learn about the charts in the next video. In this we are just going to learn about the spreadsheet functions, cell referencing, and about how to insert a worksheet, rename a worksheet, delete a worksheet, and some more things you can see in the next slides. You all have learnt about Microsoft Excel in your previous classes. Means about spreadsheet you have already learned, so just a review for that. A spreadsheet or worksheet is a file made of rows and columns that helps sort the data, arrange the data easily, and calculate the numerical data. And a group or a collection of worksheet is called a workbook. You all know that whenever you open Microsoft Excel, the book gets open, and on the title bar it is written book 1, and that workbook contains some sheets. By default you get 3 sheets on the screen, and you can insert more sheets accordingly. Okay, examples are Microsoft Excel, which you have already worked on. Then Lotus was also used in earlier days, and Wikicalc, and many more are there. This is the Microsoft Excel screen, you can see here. You all know that A, B, C, D, E, F, they are the columns. 1, 2, 3, 4, they are the row numbers. This is the name box, which gives you the address of the current or the active cell. This FX will show you the formula if you have written anywhere in the cell. You can see by default you are having sheet 1, sheet 2, and sheet 3. You can add more sheets, you can delete a sheet, you can rename a sheet. And here on the title bar, book 1 is written, means this is the workbook which you have opened, and the workbook contains the worksheets. That's all you know very well. Here in this lesson we are going to learn about how to enter the formula. There are 3 types or 3 methods to enter a formula in Microsoft Excel. We can type it directly in the cell, we can refer to the cells using the mouse pointers, or we can use the equivalent functions. We'll see everything practically over here. Okay. Then cell range. Now whenever we enter a formula, either we use a single cell or we use a collection of cells which are present in a same column or in a same row. So if we group those cells, that is called cell range. You can see the example A1 colon A10. It is referring to the range of cells which is starting from A1 then to A10. It means the starting cell address is A1 and the ending cell address is A10, and the values in between A2, A3, A4, A5, A6, A7, A8, A9 all are collectively selected. Okay, so this is called the cell range. Then cell referencing. Now this term cell referencing is basically used whenever we enter any formula in a cell, and how we are using the cell address in the formula. Based on that, the cell referencing is divided into 3 types, that is relative, absolute, and mixed. So in MS Excel, cell referencing is the method by which you refer to a cell or series of cells in a formula. 3 types. By default it is relative referencing, means if you have not set any option and you are using a formula, then the default referencing is relative, where the cell address is not fixed. Means if you have entered a value in A1 or A2 and you are multiplying the values or you are adding the values, and if you copy the formula in the rest of the cells, that A1 and A2, the address will keep on changing, A3, A4, A5, or B1, B2, B3, B4, like that. Then I'll see it here. Relative referencing in this relative referencing. In this type of referencing, cell references change relative to their location when copied. Neither row nor column of a cell reference is fixed. For example, A1 multiplied by B1. If we are writing this formula and if we are copying the formula in the rest of the cells, so A1 will be changed to A2, A3, A4, B1 can be changed to B2, B3, B4, or it can change to D1, E1, like that. Absolute referencing, in this cell reference it never changes the value, means the cell address is always fixed, and if you copy the formula either in the row or a column, that particular cell address will not change. Okay, and if you want to fix any cell, any row or any column, we use a dollar sign. You can see here in this cell references, never change relative to their location when copied. Both row and column of a cell reference is fixed. Here I have written $A $1, means the column A is also fixed and the row number 1 is also fixed. Now if this kind of reference has been used in a formula, and if we are going to copy the formula in further rows and columns, what will happen? This A1 will not change. It will be same for each and every row and every column. Mixed referencing. This type of referencing is a mix of relative and absolute, that is why it is called mixed. And in this kind of referencing, either row or column of a cell reference is fixed. Means either you can fix a row, either you can fix a column. So if I have written A $1, it means that if I copy the formula in the next rows, what will happen? 1 will not change. It will not change to 2 or 3 or 4 or 5, but A can be changed to column A, column B, column C, column D, column E, because I have not fixed the column, only the row has been fixed. And in this one, $A1, column is fixed. So if you copy the formula, what will happen? That A will not change. A will remain A. It will not change to B, C, D and E, but the row number will change, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, we'll see everything practically, so don't panic. Okay, and a note I have given that to fix any column or row, dollar sign is used. Some more things we'll learn. As I told you earlier also, we'll learn about how to insert a worksheet, how to rename it, how to delete it. We will know about the functions which are already predefined in Microsoft Excel. We have to simply use them. Sum to add the numbers, average to find out the average of the numbers in the range, min to find out the minimum value in the cell range, max to find out the maximum value in the cell range, count to count the number of values in the cell range. Then formatting the data means how we can format a text, number or date, etc. So children, this is your Microsoft Excel worksheet. As I told you that whenever you open Microsoft Excel, you will get a book in front of you. On the title bar, you can see book 1 is written, and if you save this file with some name, suppose I have given save as functions. So the name of the workbook has been changed to functions. Now you can see sheets here. By default there are 3 sheets, sheet 1, sheet 2, sheet 3. You can add more sheets. This is the option to insert worksheet. So either you can click this tab or you can simply use the shortcut key which is given there, shift plus F11. So as I click here, sheet 4 is added, then sheet 5 is added. Now if you want to change the name of the sheets, what you have to do is simply click on the sheet name and type. Suppose I have given here as Jan, Feb, March. See, the name is changed, isn't it? If you want to delete a sheet, simply take a mouse pointer on the sheet tab, press the right button of the mouse and delete. See, once again, if you want to delete this sheet, place a pointer here, click the right mouse button and delete. Now if you press the mouse button here, right button, you can see you have the options for inserting a worksheet, deleting a worksheet and renaming a worksheet. So this way also you can do, or the way I have told, that way also you can do. Okay, now how to enter a formula. The most important thing which I missed in the slides, I should tell you, that whenever you have to enter a formula, you have to use an equal to sign. If you will not use the equal to sign, nothing will be calculated. Just see here. Suppose I have entered some value here, like 10, 13, 3. Here. And here I am going to enter a formula. what I have to do, I have to multiply this value of A1 with B1. So I have written A1 multiplied by B1 and press enter. Is it working? Why? It is not working. You know why? Because I have not used the equal to sign. So how will I do it? If I put an equal to sign here, you can see the cell range is selected and press enter. See, 10 into 4 is equal to 40. Now see children, here if I place the pointer, here this fx is formula bar, this is the formula bar, it is showing the value 10, this is showing the value 4, but if you place the pointer here, it will not show 40, it will show you the formula which you have entered into the cell. Okay, now if you want to do the calculation same way for A2 and B2, for A3 and B3, what you have to do is just see this pointer which I am moving. This is a plus sign, white color cursor, isn't it? Now place this mouse pointer here at the right corner. See, the pointer is changed into a black plus sign. Can you see that? This is called the fill handle. Now when this fill handle appears, just press the mouse button and drag this. See, here the formula is A1 into B1, here the formula is changed as A2 into B2, and here as A3 into B3. Can you see that? And I have not fixed any column or row. So this is a relative referencing. It is relative referencing. Now suppose if what I do, if I drag this formula in the column, see, here it is A1 into B1, here it is B1 into C1, here it is C1 into D1, here it is D1 into E1. Can you see the column is changing? Now if I drag it in the same way here with the fill handle, see, here it is B1 into C1 and here it is B2 into C2, here it is C1 into D1. Have you marked one thing? The column is also changing if I have copied the formula in a row or column, and the row number is also changing. So this kind of referencing is called as relative referencing, where neither the row is fixed nor the column is fixed. So this is relative. Okay, now now we'll see the example of absolute referencing. Just sample algorithm. This is the name, so we will not take this, we will take this. The price multiplied by the quantity. Okay, I have just clicked the mouse pointer and the cell address is already placed there. You can see that. Now press enter and drag it. See, here it is B3 into C3, here it is B4 into C4, and here it is B5 into C5. Now what I want to do is, I want to fix this value. I want that 34 should be multiplied by 34, 56 should also be multiplied by 34, and the 78 should also be multiplied by 34. So what is the cell address here? It is C3. So what I'll do is, I'll just change one thing here. I'll put a dollar sign. Okay, say enter. And now drag it. See, B3 multiplied by C3, B4 multiplied by C3, well, you can see here, and B5 multiplied by C3. Is the cell changing? It is not changing. So this kind of referencing, where the row is also fixed and the column is also fixed, this is called as absolute referencing. Okay. Now, if in the formula I just remove this dollar sign from column C, okay, these values will be same, but if I drag this formula this side, see, it is B3 into C3, it is C3 into D3, it is C3 into E3. You can see that this column is changing, isn't it? Why? Because the dollar sign has been removed. Okay, now come here. It is B3 into C3. Here it is showing B4 into C3. Why? Because 3 is fixed, it will not change. And B5 into C3. So this is the same column. So you can see that 3, the value, this row number is not changing. And this way if you see, the column is changing, but still the row is not changing. Why? Because the row has been fixed. Now if I just do the opposite, what I do is I write $C and I remove the dollar from the row. See what will happen. See, this is cell B3 into C3, okay, B4 into C4, B5 into C5. The row is now changing from 3 to 4 to 5. Now come this side. It is C3 into C3, it is D3 into C3, it is E3 into F3. Now you can see that the column is changing. It is becoming D, E, F. Why? Because I have not fixed the column. I have only fixed the row. So the row will not change. If you drag the formula here also, if you drag the formula here also, you just see here B3, B4, B5 and C3, C4, C5, isn't it? Come here. It is C3 into C3. It is D3 into C3. It is C4 into C4. It is D4 into C4. It is C5 into C5. It is D5 into C5. The C is not changing. Can you see that? So whenever you put a dollar sign, either if you put in front of a column, that column will be fixed. If you put it in front of a row, that row will be fixed. If you are putting in front of the row and in front of the column, means you are using the dollar sign for both, for a cell reference, so that particular cell will be fixed. So if the row number and the column name contains the dollar sign for a single cell address, that is absolute referencing. If either the row or a column contains the dollar sign, that is mixed referencing. And if we are not using the dollar sign, that is the relative referencing, and relative referencing is the default referencing which is used in Microsoft Excel. Okay, so these referencings are basically used whenever you have to use a formula in Microsoft Excel sheet. Okay, now children, we will see some more things over here, as I told you about the functions. Now I'll enter some more values here so that you can. Now see, suppose if you have to find out the sum of these means from B3 to B8, what will you do? You will use the equal to sign. Then either you have the options to write B3 plus B4 plus B5 like this, plus B6 plus B7, and say enter. See, this is the sum. The formula is written here. The other way is, you can simply write equal to and take the mouse pointer on the first cell, press the mouse button and drag. see this is selected now, B3 to B8. So this is called the cell range. Selecting the range of the cell. This is cell range. But will it add? If I press enter, it is giving you value. Will it add? No, because I have not used the plus sign. So what I can do is, there is one more option. When you click on the cell, just do one thing, equal to B3 is selected, now put the plus sign, then click here, B4 is selected, then B5 is selected, plus sign, then B6 is selected, plus sign, then B7 and then B8, and press enter. Now this task is, it's taking too much time. So I have little bit values, but if you have a big range of values, then now for that Microsoft Excel has some inbuilt functions. As I have shown you on the slides, there is a function called as sum. Okay, sum and bracket I have to put. Now before executing this function, let me tell you one thing. Just see the formula bar over here. Now it is written sum and open parenthesis and close parenthesis. This is called the structure of a function. Means the name of the function, opening parenthesis and closing parenthesis. That is the structure. Okay, and the values which we enter between these parentheses, that is called as arguments. What do we call it? Argument. And what argument I will give here? I will give the range of the cells whose sum I have to find out. So what is the range of my cell? That is it is from B3 to B8. So what I will write? I will write B3, then I'll put a colon sign and I will write B8. It will show you the sum. See in the formula bar. If you want to find out the average of all these numbers from B3 to B8, the function which is used is AVG. Then opening parenthesis, you can select the range also with the help of the mouse pointer, and close the parenthesis. Press enter. Okay, so this is the average, you can see here, and if I write equal to MIN, open parenthesis, select the same range, say enter. So between this range, which is the minimum value? 34. So see, the min function is showing 34. If I use equal to max and the same range, what is the maximum value? 88 now. Press enter. See? So this is the sum, this is the average, this is the minimum value, this is the maximum value. Okay, I have just written a label over here. I'm not using equal to sign, so don't think this is the name of the function here. This is just to refer that what is written over here. Okay, and if you have to use the functions or the formula, I told you that equal to sign is must. If you will not put the equal to sign, the calculation will not be done. Then one more function, count. So how we use it? Say equal to count and select the range again. How many values are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, isn't it? Press enter. This count is showing 6, means the number of values in that range of cell is 6. But one more thing I would like to tell you, children. Suppose if I enter some alphabet over here, just see, because I have entered alphabet, what happens? This sum function is this where I have not used the sum function. I have written b3, b4, b5, b6, b7. Now b5 is containing a character, so it will not add, so it is showing error over here. Same here. And in the sum function, what is it is doing? b3 to b8, it is only considering the cell addresses which is containing the number, and it is showing you the value. Average will also do that, minimum will also do that, maximum will also do that, and count is showing 5 instead of 6. Why? Because count function counts only the numeric value. It doesn't count the alphabets. Okay? And if you want to count the alphabets also, then you have to use count A. See, count A means it will include the alphabets also, so it is showing 6. And if I use only count and I give the same range, it will show 5, because count counts only the numeric value, and if you want to include the alphabets also or the text value also, in that case you have to use the function count A. See this count function, this is count A. This value we have got by using the max function, min function, average function, sum function. One more thing you have to just see here. See, right now the sum is containing 290, average is 58, minimum is 34, maximum is 88, and count is 6. Okay. Now if I enter 100 here, 100, I have not pressed enter yet. Okay. As soon as I will press enter, you know what will happen? These values will change. Why? Because if any cell contains a formula or function, and if you make any changes into the cell reference which you have used in the formula or function, the value of the result also gets changed. Now if I press enter, see what is happening. It has become 390, average is also changed, minimum is still 34, so it is not it has not changed, maximum has become 100, earlier it was 88, isn't it? So, and count is still 6. Okay, so whenever you change the values of the cell addresses which you have used in the formula, the result will also change. I'll show you it once more. Just see here, like price and quantity and value. Suppose I have written equal to B3 into C3. It is 1156, and I have dragged the value here like this. Okay, the formula has been copied and the value has been calculated. But as soon as I'll make this 34, see the previous value is 1156. If I make this 34 as 67 and I press enter, see it has changed to 2278, isn't it? Why? Because this cell is containing a formula B3 into C3. So if I change the value of B3, the result will change. If I change the value of C3, the result will change. Okay, same for here also. If this 45 I make it 56, this value 2520 will change, 3136. Can you see this? So this is how we use the formula and functions. I already shown you how to use the cell reference, how to insert a sheet, delete a sheet, how to rename a sheet, how to enter a formula, and now we'll come to the options how to do the formatting of the data, whether it is a text or number or anything. So the same sheet I am using, okay, and I am entering alphabets also here. Just remember one thing. See, if you enter number in a cell, it is always placed at the right side. If you enter any text, it is always placed at the left side. This is the default alignment of the text and number in Microsoft Excel. You can change the alignment, okay. of the number of the text. You can do the formatting, and formatting is of many kinds. Just come over here, this 12. Okay, I'm just and click the right mouse button and use the option format cells. You can see tabs over here: number, alignment, font, border, fill, protection. Okay, now number, this is the general number, so the setting is given like that. Alignment, now see, I give it left and say okay. It has come to left, isn't it? Now again say format cells. You can change the orientation. See, this orientation I have set. Say okay. Drag this column. What you can see here? A hash. Why? Why it is not changing orientation? Because it is a number. Okay. Now same thing if I do for this AN. Just see. Click the right mouse button. Format cells and alignment. Say orientation. I have done like this. Say okay. See. AN. So orientation is changed. Now click the right mouse button, say format cells, keep the orientation of 90 degrees. Now font. Can you change the font of a number? No, because font is changed only for the text, but you can change the color. Can you change? Let's see. Yes, the color is changed, but can you change the font? You cannot, because the font is basically meant for the text. So come over here, press the right mouse button, say format cells. Now you can change the font, you can change the style, you can change the size, you can change the color. Fine, and say okay. Done. Border. Now border is for the cell. Okay, if I make the outline border and I change the thickness from here, I change the border color to blue and I say okay. See, thickness and color, blue and outline. See, outline, blue color, thickness the same way as I said. So this is for the single cell. Now if I select a range of cells, suppose here, and I press the mouse button and I say format cells, say outline, inside, choose the style, choose the color and say okay. let's try once more. Yes, now we try. See, this way you can do, and you can also change the background color of the cell. Right now it is white. If I select the whole range over here and I just do it as see the fill button, and choose any fill color and say OK. See, so this way you can do the formatting of the cells. You can do the formatting of a text, you can do the formatting of a number. Now for in case of numbers, there are some more options also. Suppose if I entered some number like this and I have selected the range and move to format cells, and here if you make it currency, say OK. The dollar sign is added. It is changed into the currency format, isn't it? Now again, format cells, if you make it as currency decimal places to 0, okay, so okay, no decimal places. So this way you can format the text. Now if I have entered date, suppose I have written 12/4/78, 4/7/98, 3/2/90, like this. Select it, right mouse button, format cells. Now these are the type for the date. If I choose this one, see, the format has changed. Can you see? So this way you can change the format of the date, you can change the format of the time, you can change the format of the numbers, you can change the format of the text, you can change the format of the cells. So this way we can do the formatting in Microsoft Excel. Hope you must have understood, and if not, see my videos twice, thrice, and practice it at home. You will definitely be able to do it. So thank you children, and the most important thing these days, stay safe.